regular session of the Oconee County Board of Education to order. First thing we need to do is make a motion to approve the agenda.
Move approval.
Mr. Burgess,
Second.
second Mr. Ransom, all in favor? Passes 5-0. Next, the board will vote to approve the November 8th regular session minutes. We need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Mr. Bagley,
Second.
second Ms. Parrish, all in favor? Next, we have recognitions.
Good evening, board members and Mr. Superintendent, please remain seated for this very first special annual recognition that we have on the agenda this evening. Tonight, the board will induct Mr. Tom Odom to the Oconee County Schools Hall of Fame. Thomas M. Tom Odom Jr. began his educational career in 1977 at Clark Central High School as a physical education teacher and coach. After working for over a decade in Clark County in multiple positions, he served as an assistant principal at Winder Barrow Middle School from 1988 to 91. In 1991, he joined Oconee County Schools as an assistant principal at Oconee County Intermediate School, now Oconee County Middle School. He served as principal of both Oconee County Middle School and Malcolm Bridge Middle School. He was also interim principal at North Oconee High School. Mr. Odom served as board chair from 2013 to 21 after his career spanning more than 4 decades in education. He also served as president of the Georgia School Boards Association from 2017 to 18. Being inducted into the Hall of Fame is the highest honor bestowed by the Oconee County Board of Education. And you can see on the wall on the back of this room that we honor the former winners. And we strive to demonstrate the sustained excellence they consistently displayed while working in our schools. There are several individuals this evening who will speak on behalf of Mr. Odom. The first is Mr. Tony McCullers, principal at Column Ferry Elementary School. Mr. McCullers, come on up.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for this time to show my support for Mr. Odom and his induction into the Hall of Fame. As most know, Mr. Odom's educational service to Oconee County Schools spans over 30 years. He has served in many school and district level administrative positions, which have directly impacted thousands of students, teachers, staff members, administrators, and community stakeholders through his tenure. On a personal level, Mr. Odom's mentorship has helped to shape the educator that I am today. I had the pleasure of working directly with Mr. Odom when he served as the principal, and I was the teacher and coach at North Oconee High School. Mr. Odom always had a way to get the best out of his people. He helped me to see strengths I did not know I had, which enabled me to improve as a teacher leader and to become a building level administrator. I know I am not alone in stating that Mr. Odom's guidance and mentorship can still be seen and felt throughout our district. His lasting legacy is the continuation of his leadership standards, which is firmly based in first considering the needs of the students in every decision and process. Mr. Odom always put the kids first. To put it simply, and I'm certain that my principal peers would agree with me, Mr. Odom is the administrative standard for Oconee County Schools. Mr. Odom, thank you for your guidance and leadership, but above all, thank you for helping make Oconee County Schools the best school district in the state and nation. Congratulations on being named to the OCS Hall of Fame.
Next up, we have Mr. My Daddy, principal at Malcolm Bridge Middle School.
Good evening. I do have the honor of serving at Mr. Odom's middle school. Refer back to. Mr. Odom has made a significant and long-lasting impact on the Oconee County community. His years of service, he's distinguished himself as a servant leader and certainly, above all, a champion for students. That's clear not just at Malcolm Bridge, but across Oconee County. His record is one of consistent, steadfast leadership, creating a solid foundation as a model for future administrators. As a principal, I've had the fortunate opportunity again to serve at Malcolm Bridge Middle School. And as I jokingly said, I've had parents all the time to say, yes, that's Mr. Odom's school. I'm proud to be there. A day does not pass when that doesn't come across, or you come across something that Tom started when he opened that building. It's still present today. He created a positive culture among staff members that's remained in place well after his retirement. The success that we see at Malcolm Bridge today is because of Mr. Odom's support and vision for what school should be. Mr. Odom's service to our community is a model above service above self, and his commitment to our community is long-lasting. When people leave positions, you often hope that you left it in better shape than you got it. That's certainly the case with Mr. Odom. He started a great school, and he left it in even better shape than when he left there for his retirement. I can't think of a better statesman, a better educator, and leader to serve our community and have served for a long time and induction into the Hall of Fame. Mr. Odom, thank you on behalf of all of us for service and being a model for us.
Next, we have Dr. Philip Brown, principal at North Oconee High School.
Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to share a few words about Mr. Odom. He'll always be Mr. Odom to me. I met Mr. Odom when he hired me on as a teacher at Malcolm Bridge Middle School many, many years ago. His calm nature, coupled with his organizational skills, made him an admired and respected principal. I've always appreciated how thoughtful he was during the hiring process, and I still believe he hired the best people. Come on. As a young teacher from a completely different region of our state, he took me under his wing, he invested in me, he believed in me, and personally, he made a difference in the trajectory of my life and my career. His leadership as a school leader and then as our board education chair has been reassuring for so many years for so many students, parents, and community members. The reassurance of just having him in the BOE chair position for so long and his connectivity in our community has been priceless. The accolades that our school district has earned during his tenure as board chair reflect his steady, thoughtful leadership. A word that keeps coming to mind for me and others regarding Mr. Odom is empowering. I think I speak for all of us as leaders that we felt empowered having a fellow school leader in the role of the BOE chair. Last week, I needed to ask Mr. Odom for a favor, so I shot him a text and asked him to give me a call. He responded, "On the golf course right now, can I call you later?" I smiled and thought, if anyone deserves to be on the golf course, it's Mr. Odom. I hope you hit him straight, and just want to say thanks for helping us, all of us, keep in the fairway.
Next, we have Ms. Valerie Wilson, Executive Director of the Georgia School Boards Association.
First, I want to thank the governance team for allowing me to come and be a part of the Oconee County community this afternoon. And now I want to talk to my friend Tom Odom. And I was trying to keep it together because Tom and Christy mean so much to me. When I came to GSBA in 2015, Tom was vice president of the association. And since Henry said to me, I'm leaving you a great slate of officers to help support you in this work that you all will be doing. And for those of you who don't know, our main work is about helping to develop highly effective school board members to make sure that they are focused on the work that they are doing and that they're keeping their eyes squarely on achieving high student achievement across the board for their students. Tom was the epitome of that for me. He was always so calm, as you all know. He was steady, and he was a great advisor. He worked really well with the other board members, and he modeled being a highly effective board member for board members across the state. I've heard a lot of you say, the gentleman who came before me say, for the Oconee County community. The same thing that he has been for this community, he was for the state of Georgia in his role as president of this association. He modeled what being a good school board member was about. But that wasn't enough. As president of the association, he took it to the national level. And I will tell you, everyone within our national association, when we worked together, they respected Tom for what he said and who he was because of the way that he carried himself. So that's a little from GSBA and the board of directors who send their very best to you, Tom. But you know that that staff loves you as well. We all cried when he was coming off as president. And we all wanted a do-over. I wanted to keep him perpetually. But there was no clause in our bylaws that allowed me to have that. Tom and I would meet at Chick-fil-A on 316 between Sugarloaf Parkway and Watkinsville. And that's where we would meet and go over agendas and just get caught up, and he could hear. But he'd say, Valerie, if you need me to come down there for anything, just let me know and I'll come. He never failed me. Whenever I called him, he answered. Whenever we needed someone to stand up for us, he did that. Now on a personal level, he always checked on me. He always wanted to make sure that I was okay. He always wanted to be sure that the staff was okay. And then he gave me that beautiful woman, Christy, as my friend. And I want to say to you all come tonight, there is no person that is more deserving of this award than you. Because I know how much you cared about the students in this community. But if there were one of those for the state of Georgia, you should be getting it too. Because you put it all on the line for the children in this state. So thank you so much for everything. And I surprised you tonight, didn't I?
And before we begin recognitions, I'll note what you probably all were delighted by when you came in was the art display in the lobby. And this was provided by the students of High Shoals Elementary, led by their art instructor, Charles Conqueror. And so this is a favorite every year. We have a few community partners to recognize this evening. First, the board will recognize community partner Hayward Allen. Hayward Allen provides the Oconee County Schools Teacher of the Year with a vacation package of $1,000 and a rental car for 2 weeks. Wesley Middlebrooks will accept the award on behalf of Hayward Allen. Come on up. Thank you so much. We want to get your picture. Our next two partners were unable to come this evening, but I did want to mention Athens Ford. They donated face masks and provided funding for an Athens Ford Reach Scholar. And Dominic's Italian Restaurant is also a community partner, and they provide gift cards to each of our Pursuit of Excellence Award winners. And finally this evening, we have our Pursuit of Excellence Award winner. The Board of Education will recognize this month's winner in the category of service, and this is a paraprofessional at Collin Ferry Elementary School, Ms. Bonnie Johnson. Ms. Johnson will receive a $50 Visa gift card and golf umbrella provided by Peach State Federal Credit Union and a $50 gift card from Dominic's. A commemorative plaque from Oconee County Schools will also be presented. Come on up, Ms. Johnson. And now you have to stand there and hear what everyone has had to say about you. So, Ms. Johnson, I'm going to read what people said when they nominated you for this award. Bonnie goes above and beyond to help students and teachers at our school. She does everything with a willing attitude. She's absolutely amazing in all that she does, not only for or with our staff here at Collin Ferry, but the children, and that's what means the most. Bonnie is so much fun to work with. She is great with the students and always willing to do whatever is necessary to help out when needed. She is a vital member of our CFES family. Bonnie has been a paraprofessional at Collin Ferry for many years. The children are always having a good time learning from Miss Bonnie. Oconee County and Collin Ferry are blessed to have Bonnie working for the school system. And finally, from Principal Tony McCullers. Miss Bonnie Johnson has served the students and teachers at Collin Ferry Elementary School for 17 years. First beginning as a substitute teacher before transitioning to the role of paraprofessional. Before coming to Oconee County Schools, Ms. Johnson worked at the Language Center at the University of Georgia and has experience working at the Smithsonian in DC. These experiences in language development and history have helped Ms. Johnson find her place in elementary education. As a paraprofessional, Ms. Johnson is always willing to go above and beyond her duties to assure her fourth grade team has the necessary support they need for effective instruction. She's an excellent small group instructor, helping students strengthen their reading and math skills. Beyond the academics, Ms. Johnson helps find innovative ways to support Collin Ferry. She is the organizer of the lunchroom music, which is a big part of our school's cafeteria management. It is for all these reasons I'm excited that Ms. Bonnie Johnson is recognized as this year's Pursuit of Excellence recipient for paraprofessionals. Congratulations.
One more. I gotta tweet it out.
Congratulations. And that concludes this evening's recognitions.
And Dr. Branch and with the display in the front of the board office being the sleigh tonight and that being featured by our students, we thought it might be nice to feature our art program, music program, chorus explorations, and PE programs at High Schultz. We think that providing opportunities for the whole child are important. So we have a video for you, and then we have a special music by our chorus.
Hi, my name is Charlie Klinkenbeard, and I'm the art teacher at High Schultz Elementary. The art room is a place where students come to create, collaborate, and learn how art impacts our world. What makes this art room so special? We've made a life-size fake bakery out of construction materials. 2nd through 5th graders become experts using sewing machines, and we've made gigantic string art on the hill in front of our school, and lots of other cool projects. What makes us special is the kids have input in what we do, and their ideas become reality. Students will have a multitude of skills, and just like a workshop, they'll leave here knowing how to use all of the tools in the shop.
I'm Claire Eggleston, the music teacher at High Schultz Elementary. In the High Schultz Music Room, I aim to enrich students' lives and create lifelong music appreciators and participants. My main goal is to expose students to a variety of musical experiences and create excitement about music that encourages them to continue their study of music into middle school, high school, and beyond. My lessons are focused on what children naturally love to do: singing, playing instruments, and moving. Students also learn how to perform together through collaboration, and these cooperative experiences foster creative thinking, engagement, patience, teamwork, and self-confidence.
Hi, my name is Coach Kevin Daniel. I'm the PE teacher here at High Schultz Elementary School, where we strive to make physical activity part of everybody's day. We have several different goals that we have in mind. We want kids to try their best. We want kids to excel, have fun, learn new things. We also want them to demonstrate good sportsmanship by trying a variety of activities that we do here at High Schultz, whether it be kindergarten all the way up to 5th. We have a good time, we're safe, and we enjoy physical activity. regardless if it's fitness, health related, or just seasonal games. We enjoy our children, and we hope that they leave here with a goal in mind of being physically active, whether they have physical education at school or not.
My name is Jenna Almankabadi, and I'm the Explorations teacher at High Shoals Elementary. In Explorations, we focus on the principles of STEAM, so science, technology, engineering, art, and math. I teach about different scientists, and we do a lot of different engineering challenges. We also learn about computer science skills. My goal for my students when they leave my classroom is to know that they can be creators or inventors, that their thoughts and ideas are important, and that they have something to contribute to their community.
Through the snow, in a one-horse open sleigh, over the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on lots of green, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride a one-horse open sleigh. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Good tidings we bring to you and your kin. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Showcase some of our students this evening. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great job. Well, after that, we'll get on with our business. That was wonderful. Next, we have our Superintendents Report. Dr. Branch.
Yes, ma'am. Board members, just a wonderful evening so far and a great time of year. Just want to thank everybody in this room and in our school system that pours into these kids and pours into this community to make it what we see being demonstrated tonight. And thank you for your support of that and your efforts on behalf of our school system as well. Had some great things going on in the school system as always. Want to congratulate North Oconee, who made it all the way to the Final Four of the 4A state football championships and represented themselves, North Oconee, and our school community and community overall very well in all facets of the game and sportsmanship. So congratulations to that team and staff, and I'm sure we'll be recognizing them at a later date. I want to congratulate Dove Creek, High Shoals, and Malcolm Bridge Elementary School. Recently attended the National Blue Ribbon Schools of Excellence Conference. I believe it was Dove Creek's first opportunity to be recognized as a lighthouse school, but I think we've only been open for year four now, so quite an accomplishment. High Shoals and Malcolm Bridge were receiving their honor for the second time, and I believe all of these schools also presented on the great work that's taking place and had teacher level leaders there as well. So congratulations to them. I want to celebrate Dallas LaDuff and our Oconee County Schools family as we were recognized as a Georgia School Boards Association Leading Edge Award for the governance team and the work that's being done in student services to create culture, climate, and organizational efficacy during the expansion of our social emotional learning during the school closure of 2020. So congratulations, Dallas, on the outstanding work that you led and many in this room led as well. We want to also recognize Paige Hackelman. She had the opportunity also at the Georgia School Boards Association Conference. She's part of the Youth Advisory Council and that is made up of about 10 students from all across the state of Georgia that advise the Georgia School Boards Association and provide student voice. And she was part of a wonderful panel sharing what it means to be a student and what we need to think about and keep in our mind. And so Paige did a wonderful job. Had, of course, board members, you were there, but we had several folks come up afterwards and just talk about what a wonderful student and young lady she is. And of course, we know that and seen that demonstrated many times. So appreciate Dr. Yancey recommending Paige for that and then supporting her opportunity to go forward. I want to congratulate Jolene Whitehead, 7th grade science teacher at Malcolm Bridge Middle School, former science teacher at Rocky Branch Elementary as well, for being named a GYSTC STEM Scholar. That stands for Georgia Youth Science and Technology Center. She was selected for outstanding efforts to engage and improve student learning in STEM. Also would like to make sure we recognize our outstanding cafeteria staffs. They fed over 8,000 Thanksgiving meals this year, and had the opportunity to sample several of those over the course of the days. Not as many as usual, but it was wonderful, and I know that's a tradition that our families just really enjoy, and our cafeteria staff take great pride in making sure that they have a competition to see who has the best of everything. A couple other things here. We're going to hear more about our can totals and collections later, so I won't spoil Brock's report there, but to say that we live in a generous community is an understatement, I think, and to see these kids get excited about sharing, their opportunities with others is touching to see each and every year. I want to thank Keith Carter and recognize him for once again bringing honor and distinction to the system. Oconee Middle School is one of only 2 schools to be named a breakout school by the Georgia Association of Secondary School Principals. The second time this award has been bestowed on Oconee Middle under Keith's leadership, and they were recognized for high achievement. And again, one of only 2 schools in the state to be recognized by that. I want to continue to celebrate our Board of Education. Since 2015, and this year is no exception, you're recognized as an exemplary school board by the Georgia School Boards Association, and that's quite an honor and distinction that we want to celebrate publicly. And just again, thank you for your service. And finally, once again, reflecting values of our community, what wonderful Veterans Day assemblies we had throughout our school system. Almost I believe every school did something, and everything's unique. But the key takeaway, if you're in the schools, as I had an opportunity to attend several, and our educators would share, and parents and community members have shared, is that the ability for students to have that interaction and have that conversation with a veteran, and then also celebrate their own family members. It's a special moment, and I got to see it through the eyes of my own family member, and it was touching. So that concludes the superintendent's report, and unless there are questions.
Thank you, Dr. Branch.
Okay, have a few other items if I may.
Yes.
We will have some recommendations as we go forward. This is the time of year that we bring forward the board attorneys. As you know, each year in January, we recommend our board attorneys. We have Hall Booth Smith, PC, and Hartley and Hawkins, LLC, are our 2 law firms that we utilize and have for some time. And so we'll be bringing a recommendation later in action items. And then it's also incumbent upon the board to select a legislative liaison for the new year, and also a vice chair for the new year in your January meeting. So you don't have to take action tonight, but wanted to put that in front of you, as I'm sure there'll be lots of discussion and consideration for those very, very important positions. That concludes the superintendent's report officially, Mr.
Thank you. Next on our agenda is presentations and discussions. First, we have teaching and learning, Dr. Claire Budd. Welcome.
Thank you and good evening. The December Teaching and Learning Board Report contains 3 items of information and 1 action item for this evening. And the first item of information is the annual 8th grade career fair, and you can see some pictures on the Teaching and Learning Report. This took place on November 19th at the Civic Center. And if you'll scroll down, you can also see on the second page, we just want to give a big shout out and thank you to these organizations that worked with us to put on this event. I also want to commend Beth Parks and Amy Frutiger for their hard work in designing and putting on this annual event. The second item of information is an update on the 2021 Georgia Council of Administrators of Special Education and their fall conference. And I'm very excited to share with you that we, our special education leaders, did a presentation at this conference, and it was a packed house. Everybody wanted to come and learn from them and hear what they had to share. And you can see some pictures here. We have Kim Griffith and Michael Williams, our specialists, and Suzanne Korngold, our director of special education. And the title of their presentation, which you can see on this picture, I think is very special. I Believe in You, a comprehensive look into behavior and emotional competencies for teachers. We're just very proud of them and them representing Oconee County Schools at this state level conference. The third item of information is an update on our learning management system. As you all may recall, our current learning management system, It's Learning, will no longer be providing their platform or services to school districts in the United States. So we have been going through a very extensive review process looking at other learning management systems. We had a review committee in place that consisted of teachers, building leaders, and district leaders. And last week, on December 1st, we also posted an RFP, and we will be bringing a recommendation to the board at the January meeting on that learning management system. The action item for this evening is projectors, and we did also post an RFP for these projectors. It was posted on October 6th, and then we are recommending that would the board votes to approve the low bidder that met all of the specifications in this particular RFP this evening. The total cost for these 125 projectors is $51,530, and these projectors will be funded through ESSER funds. So it is the superintendent's recommendation for the board to approve these projectors this evening. And that concludes the teaching and learning report, unless there are questions.
Questions?
Claire, on the learning management system that you talked about, is there some additional or unique functionality that we're going to that you would hope to try to add going into this new system in terms of the functionality we've had before with this learning and what might be added or enhanced with moving to the newer system?
Yes, we do believe after this extensive review that it is going to provide a lot more to the user, to the student, to the teacher. And as we get into it a little bit further, we'll look at what other components we can add on. But the first phase of it will be a focus on implementation and migration from the current platform to the new platform. But yes, it does offer additional capabilities.
What's the timing that you would hope to shoot for in terms of having the new system implemented and ready to use?
So we've had a lot of conversation with our teachers, and we really needed to understand from them what they felt comfortable with and a timeline for making that migration from our current platform to the new one. And so we are hopeful by bringing a recommendation to the board in January that sometime in February to the 1st of March, we would be able to begin that migration process so that teachers and staff have that time to make sure that everything has been moved over.
Okay, great, thank you.
Anyone else? Thank you.
Thank you.
Next on our agenda is operations. Mr. Brock, welcome.
Yes, ma'am, thank you. The Oconee County Schools Operations Division December Board of Education report contains 4 items of information and 1 action item. Our first item of information is our energy report. And as you can see here by the graph, it continues to show a trend decrease in usage over September. I want to continue to thank Mr. Breidenbaugh and his team for helping us with the energy. Our second item of information is the lead custodian meeting. Our November lead custodian meeting was held and hosted by the Mountain Ridge middle school team, and our custodial teams they're doing a great job cleaning for health and making sure everything's taken care of at the schools. We appreciate them. Our third item of information is what Dr. Branch spoke of a minute ago, our can-a-thon. It really is truly remarkable to see what our community comes out and does. Oconee County Schools collected 50,783 cans and almost $5,000 too for the annual Axe Can-a-thon. Cans were collected from Monday, November 1st through Friday, November 12th. And it's just amazing to see what these donations do for our county. So way to go, everybody. It's just a wonderful effort by all. Our fourth item of information is our construction update. I'm going to ask our Director of Facilities, Fred, to come up and give us that.
Good evening. We've had some great weather this past month and got a lot of work done. We are about 50% completed at Collin Ferry and about 90% complete with the block work. So we're really making great progress. We're hoping for our roof decking to arrive within the next week or two, so we can get a roof on the building and get dried in. We accomplished a great deal of work at Collin Ferry and at High Shoals over the Thanksgiving break. Running at Collin Ferry specifically, the major task we accomplished was running the fire line to the street and getting attached to the city of Maine. And at High Shoals, we had some power outages and some water shutdowns to start getting things ready to connect to the new building. At High Shoals, the footings are complete, the foundation walls are complete, and they've started under slab electrical and plumbing work this week. So we're moving along well with both projects. Any questions?
Thank you. Thank you.
And lastly, we have 1 action item. That action item is for our new middle school number 3. The superintendent's recommendation is for the Board of Education to approve Bowen & Watson Construction Company for the construction of new middle school number 3 for a proposal cost of $34,409,000. The estimated project cost, which includes furniture, technology, etc., is $39,579,900. The project will be funded by a combination of ELOS and general fund dollars. Any questions?
Any questions? Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Next, we have student services. Dr. Liddell.
Good evening, Dr. Branch and board members. The Student Services Report contains 3 items of information this evening. The first is a COVID-19 update. Just as a reminder, COVID-19 vaccines are now available for all individuals 5 and up. We have communicated where our parents can take their children to receive the vaccine if they choose to do that. We would also like to thank the Oconee Health Department for being available not only to our students but also having the COVID-19 vaccines available for our staff when they administer our annual flu vaccines this season. The rolling average for Oconee County new cases is 3.6 as of this afternoon. The vaccine rate is 60% of our residents are fully vaccinated, and 64% of our residents have at least one dose. In terms of a breakdown by age, 5 to 9 year olds, the individuals with at least one dose of the vaccine is 14.4%, 10 to 14 is 36.9%, and 15 to 19 is 57.3%. The second item of information is school choice. As you all know, our school choice window is now open, and students are allowed to apply to a school that is available for transfer or under capacity for next school year. We've received approximately 25 applications to date, and those applications are due on no later than January 21st, and decision letters will be mailed no later than January 28th of 2022. And the third item of information is school nutrition. Ms. Davis, if you can pull up that attachment. I'm happy to report that our school nutrition participation continues to increase. If you'll scroll down a little bit, you can see here that we've had 4.6% increase in breakfast over last November and a 10.7% increase for lunch over last November. And I'd just like to echo Dr. Branch's commendation to our school nutrition staff on Thanksgiving meals. That was a great opportunity for our community to get back in our schools and enjoy the fellowship with their children and other parents at our Thanksgiving meals. And that concludes the Student Services Report, unless there's any questions.
Questions?
Thank you.
Next, we have Business Services. Ms. Liz Harlow, welcome.
Thank you. Good evening. Business Services has 6 items of information for tonight's board meeting. The first item of information is the cash balance report for November. The second item of information is a list of all vendor payments in November. The third item of information is the budget report for November. Revenues and expenditures are where we would anticipate at this point in the fiscal year. The fourth item of information is the ELOS collections report. The rolling average is 17% over the previous year, and October's collections are 8.5% lower than the collections for October 2020. The next item of information is the board report for ELOS 5, and as every month, the revenues and expenses have been updated as of November 30th. The last item of information is the federal funds report for November. The report has been updated as of November 30th of this fiscal year. And that concludes my report, unless there are any questions.
Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Communications. Ms. Anissa Jimenez.
Thank you so much. The Communications Board Report has one item of information, and it's our monthly highlights video. And then the action item for later is for approval of the 2023-24 academic calendar. And that concludes my report unless there are any questions.
Yes.
Can you remind me, did I remember you talking last month about there was a change or a modification to this calendar that was different than the ones we've had the last 2 or 3 years? And so, remind me what that is.
Sure, it's in February in order to maintain our 3 pillars. So one of them is to have 90 and 90 student days. So you can see in February there's a 1-day winter break instead of a 2-day winter break. So that's the modification. And then you can also see in April that does not impact students or teachers, but for year-round staff, that would be a 4-day spring break. So some of those modifications are necessary just simply because of the way this calendar fell.
Did we get any substantive suggestions or recommendations on this calendar from putting it out for people to consider?
I think everyone would like more vacation, but other than that, we had a lot of positive feedback on this calendar. And it's been on our website as a draft for the past month as well.
Okay, so nothing in any of those comments that would come, that you would suggest to make a change at all?
No.
Okay, great, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, that concludes my report.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Next, we have communications to the board. Do we have anybody signed up tonight? All right. Then we'll move to action items. Dr. Branch?
I'm sorry, I didn't sign up.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I apologize. I didn't sign up, but I just have a quick question, if I may.
Yes, come forward. If you will, state your name.
Yeah, that's fine. Just Julie Mock, Summit Grove. I was just wondering if the presentations that you all were doing tonight are available online or will be made available online.
They're always online, yes ma'am.
In Simla?
Simply.
Simply.
Okay, thank you.
Simply. You're welcome. Next, we have action items.
Okay, yes ma'am, we would recommend the passage or approval of the Oconee County Schools Calendar 23-24 school year as presented. Motion to approve.
Mr. Ransom?
Second.
Second, Ms. Parrish, all in favor? Passes 5-0.
Up next, as you've heard presented and had information presented before you, we would recommend Bowen and Watson Construction Company for the construction of middle school number 3. Proposal cost of $34,409,000 and an overall estimated total project cost of $39,579,900 to be paid for with ELOS and general funds.
A quick question, I guess I should have asked this when Brock was up there.
Yes, sir.
I assume that there are performance incentives involved as far as the calendar is concerned.
Yes,
Those
sir.
are all concerned with this particular bid.
Yes, sir, for finishing. Yes, sir.
I had one question I've been asked too.
Yes, sir.
The bid includes a requirement to have the project finished by when?
July of 23.
So this bid comes with a requirement that they would have to turn it over to us in July or turn it over to May and final occupancy in July?
Substantial completion in July of 23 for the students to arrive, the teachers at the end of July and August.
Okay, so that's enough time to get it, have it ready to occupy for school to start according to our calendar for next year.
Correct.
Okay.
Anyone else? We need a motion to approve.
I'll propose a motion.
Mr. Burgess?
I would propose that.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
You want to?
No, I thought you already made your motion. Go ahead, I apologize.
I would propose that we award, follow the superintendent's recommendation and award the bid to Bowen and Watson for $34,409,000, and that we approve a total project budget as stated and include in the proposal of $39,579,900.
Thank you, Mr. Burgess.
Second.
Second, Mr. Bagley. All in favor? Passes 5-0.
Thank you, board members. A lot of work to get to this point. I know the operations staff's excited to get moving.
I suspect the work's just started.
Up next, you heard a presentation on 125 projectors, and so we will recommend that the board approve that as recommended.
We need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Ms. Parrish,
Second.
second Mr. Ransom, all in favor? Passes 5-0. Next, we do have a need to go into executive session and we need a motion to do so.
I'll make a motion that the board will adjourn to executive session to discuss or deliberate upon personnel matters as described on the affidavit to be attached to the minutes.
Thank you, Ms. Parrish.
Second.
Second, Mr. Ransom. All in favor? Passes 5-0.